Talkin Pit. It's been 2 months, I think.
It's been a minute.
Hey.
The last time I was on it, I had a different setup where literal trash was in the background every single time I was on.
And now I'm on camera. Hey.
And my webcam is in a box because I'm moving. So I'm a little hamster from WikiHow.
Congratulations. Once again.
Thanks.
On the big
Yeah, it's cool being a little hamster from WikiHow. People don't talk about the benefits, but thanks. I'm glad you noticed.
We could have just popped in a photograph of the TieTuesday.
So Doc, you said you wanted to go first?
I do very much want to go first, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna roll over.
The past 2 weeks, a game has consumed my life pretty aggressively. I did it as a sort of special feature on Halloween, right? It was recommended a few months ago, a game called Voices of the Void, which is available for free, actually. It's pay what you want. It tossed in like $6, not underestimating how much game was in here, because it's sold as a pre-alpha demo, which, given I have played probably like 30 hours of it and still am finding new shit to do in it, is kind of a ridiculous thing to call a pre-alpha demo. You know? So just as a start, I started up a new run of the game on endless mode just so we can see more or less what the game is like at the beginning. This is a slow burn horror game set in an old abandoned SETI like researcher base, which is a search for extraterrestrial intelligence. So, you know, looking for aliens, long and short of it. And it's extremely slow to get going on all of that. But it does do an extremely good job of, like, well, sort of kind of spooking you into... it creates an excellent atmosphere, basically.
Half-Life sound.
Okay. This isn't a Source game, actually. It's an Unreal game, but it uses all Source stuff and tries to feel like a Source game, is the funny thing.
Sorry, that door is as much in my DNA as my hair color. Like, it's just in there.
Oh, well. Like, these are all Half-Life sounds.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, I think this even uses the same sounds as the in Half-Life 2 when you're on the car. I think it's using those.
Gordon Freeman beeps anytime he interacts with anything.
Yeah. So anyway, the basic thing you do in this game is that you basically scan the sky for signals, and then you process them as best you can to find out, like, if there's anything interesting on those signals, and then you send them in to the research base for them to then, you know, return and give you some goodies and cash, basically, which then you can spend on maintenance for yourself, the base, upgrading the computers, which, my god, is the computer fucking bad at the start of the game from where I am now. It's it didn't feel so awful when I was like doing it the first time, but going back to it is pulling teeth, let me tell you.
So is it like the speed at which you process the stuff you get from outside? Is it like the speed at which your hard drives access? What are like the computer upgrades?
All of it. You see how like this is moving slowly and whatnot? This starts to move very, very quickly. There's a cooldown attached to scanning for signals. It starts at half a minute and gets all the way down to 2 seconds from aggressive upgrades. Yeah. The detector status, that goes way, way, way faster. Oh, it's a triple unknown one. Interesting. The download speed increases heavily.
3 bytes a second. I love that. That's Windows 95.
Oh, yeah. You can get massive data like 1.06 megabytes on these hard drives, you know?
That's a floppy disk.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The largest signal I've ever found was a, like, I think 2.9 megabytes. It's ridiculous. It's huge.
That's 2 floppy disks. You'd have to zip those
But
up.
despite being sort of like pre-alpha, would you consider this like fully featured enough that people should be taking a look at it now, or is it kind of just a
definitely.
demo of what is to come?
It's definitely pretty full featured already, and here's one of the fun things about it. This is one of those games that gets frequent updates, and the dev likes to fuck with people a lot when in these frequent updates. So there's actually it's a fun time playing like from update to update as things change suddenly. For example, the last update I played, you can see the compass down there in the center, right? Blue is currently pointing north. That was not the case in the last update. This was on purpose. It's unclear why this was on purpose. People have not figured out why it was on purpose yet, but apparently it was on purpose. And there's been no news on why yet. There's like an Easter egg in the game where you can find the 3D model of Maxwell the cat, right? And a streamer, Vinesauce Joel, famous streamer and all of that, would keep him on hand all the time. Basically, it's like a comfort thing because he has a phobia of aliens, and despite the fact that he enjoys playing this game and all that. So he gets very, very easily spooked. One update, the dev decided to make it so that you activate that cat, and then it turns into a skeleton and plays, and then explodes. The next update, it was back to normal. That kind of thing. So the dev likes to insert secret things along updates and whatnot. It's fun to follow along with it. Anyway, I still haven't gotten this thing processed yet. And I think I have this particular save only has computer processing level 1, which means I'll only be able to get slightly better audio off of these. Now the good news is I do have a save that I have specifically set up as well to show what the game is more like. More like way later down the line.
Now, is this like a multiple playthroughs would be possible kind of game, or is there I think he mentioned there was is there an endless mode in this or something along those lines?
This save is on endless mode. Yeah.
Okay, great.
So the way that it works is that the story mode, which is the typical way that the game is supposed to be played, there's going to be events that happen on specific dates and whatnot, and you want to check those dates out. Hold on. Unprocessed space sounds. It's not very listenable. Don't worry about it.
Sound of the sun.
Mm-hmm. Now this is level 1 processing, which is more listenable. It's not immediately oh damn, there's way too much stuff going on, but it doesn't give you all that much in the way of information.
Nice spectralizer.
Yeah. There's also a visualizer, a spectrograph, the upgrade that you can get, where you can check out what this looks like as a single entity as well. This game gets dark as hell at night, but you do still have to go out at night sometimes. It's to go do things at the cycle transformers. You have to maintain your base. You have to repair servers and whatnot and things like that. So the long and short of it is that the game, despite being kind of goofy at the same time, is extremely good at creating this atmosphere of you never feel safe. It's very good at, and I mean this as a compliment instead of something that if assume a real life thing would be awful. It's very good at preying on paranoia, as it continues to instill a deeper and deeper sense of paranoia into you, the player. As you go looking for things at night, especially, you hear things make sounds, and then you realize that was just a fucking pine cone that fell nearby, but it still spooked the hell out of you. That kind of thing, instead of being finding an alien nearby or something like that. Anyway, let's go ahead and throw this look into the trash as I go bring up my second story mode file, which I created a save of today.
Now, is there a way or a point in time where like events do become more common? Because I have watched
Yes.
you and other people play this game like 3 or 4 times, and I have never seen anything happen. And I'm like, kind of like, that's maybe like a little too rare for me personally.
I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, we're talking about like the paranoia and how this is kind of, you know, and I'm like, but what gets you? Like, what's getting you?
Well, that's the thing. If you didn't
that's-
have the long periods of safety, then it wouldn't actually be. It wouldn't.
Sure, no, I totally agree.
At the beginning of the game, do they show you anything? Because that's the thing is like, I need something or else I'm just vibing in a research base for 5 hours.
Let's do some
Yeah,
science.
They will. There's things that pop up, especially like eventually the signals themselves start to become kind of spookums. The game's interface is a little bit strange, but the moment you get used to it properly, it actually makes perfect sense.
Is that a hang in there, cat?
Don't worry. Yeah, there's a hang in there cat over there, and also don't worry about this one.
Okay.
For example, hey, I have an absolute fuckload of data over here. Yeah, you get like, you know, a quota of how many signals you need to send in per day kind of thing. Oh, whoop. You get daily like rations and whatnot, and also a singular hard drive. Well, that can't be good. That's right outside the base. To actually download these like bits of data and whatnot, you have to set polarity to the right direction, unless to get an upgrade, in which case it becomes just set it to the right value. Set frequency to the right value over here, and that also now speeds up the download speed as well. This thankfully is a very short signal, so you can go. Right, sorry, that was actually just the sound of that wooden box I grabbed breaking. It's supposed to break the moment it lands, but there's a current bug where it just sticks around for a little bit. I kind of wish they don't fix it. It's pretty good. Don't worry about this. There's nothing you have to worry about.
But yeah, don't you have to like manage what kind of food you eat? Because your guy will like get very sick of eating just MREs for like 2 weeks straight.
Absolutely.
Can't relate.
Yeah, unrealistic.
Also,
authorblues loves MREs.
Can't get enough of those.
Powder potatoes.
Can't get enough of those dehydrated mac and cheeses.
It's just mac, no cheese.
I only take my
Dehydrated
food out of a chafer dish heated by a little wax candle, thank you.
I know exactly where that is. That's right there. I'm currently being watched by something. These are servers. You have to do maintenance on them every now and again. It's not that big of a deal. Look at how much faster this moves when you have a lot of upgrades to it, by the way. You saw earlier.
That's quite a distance.
It can be kind of maybe hard to explain the appeal of it just from watching, like, just the moment to moment. God damn it, that's 3 invalid objects in a row. That's not common at this point. Okay.
Someone opening your doors.
Oh fuck. Yes.
There you go.
Don't worry about it.
Just like the angels from Doctor Who. You just chip them up while they're not looking. Nice.
I mean, they are made of wood. I mean, what else are you gonna do with them, right? I have a wood chipper. Am I gonna not use it?
So, like, is that just a case of, like, if you didn't hear them opening the doors behind you 6 times and, like, let it get a little closer, it would have been bad, or?
I mean, I won't tell you. That's something someone can experience on their own.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking for a hook.
They
It's
would never
difficult
sneak
to
up on me.
describe the hook without just doing it, because it is very much it engages you slowly over time in a way
Yeah.
that's hard to release from you.
They would never. No one could sneak up on me if my door made the Half-Life sound. I would snap out of a coma. If I heard that noise.
Oh, shit, which door did it come from then? It must have been this one. Let's see here. I can get a hook in you if you want for at least when the threats start to show up. There we go. There's something. Don't worry, you can. That doesn't cause any damage.
Epcot?
No, that's gaming.
That's normal. No, that's normal.
It's faster than, climbing all the way down. Now, where is that loser?
Starting to think the things that we're supposed to be scared of should be scared of you. With your wood chipper and your immunity to fall damage.
Gonna give these fools the people's elbow from 120 feet up.
Where'd you go, buddy? Come back out here, loser.
Half-Life flashlight.
It very much is.
I love it. I thought it would be fun to broadcast that game. It wasn't, but it was fun for me.
Well, difficult to catch it if it doesn't want to go ahead and debone me, I guess. The ragdoll physics on the player character are very fun. They are aggressive, and you will occasionally, if you go down too steep of a hill, you will trip, and it doesn't do any damage. In fact, you go down the hill very quickly, so that's not even really a problem. But
Is this solo or multiplayer?
solo only.
Because you could watch some guy do that tumble.
It's like a maybe one day it could have some multiplayer, but is unlikely to sort of thing.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's a solo dev game, so minus I think maybe some art assistance every now and again. Dang, I was really hoping that thing would have it wasn't that far away from here. It just decided to leave though.
Well, unfortunately, it's time for
I've
authorblues.
gone well beyond time. That's true. So again, this is a slow burn game. It's not a fast instant like a gratification game, unfortunately, which means it can sometimes be a decent amount of time between moments of spookum.
Mhm.
I actually just find the general gameplay loop of it also very, very in the zone kind of thing. You zone out while you play it pretty well, which also helps to then when you do get spooked, it can be pretty good. There has been some extremely effective stuff in this game. I don't want to spoil it for people who would get be disappointed by spoilers about it if they end up wanting to play it. But I'm not easy to spook.
how long should you expect? Because I've watched like 85 minutes of the game and seen nothing. So I'm just wondering, like, am I just really unlucky, or is it like sometimes it's gonna be like 2.5 hours before something happens?
I mean, sometimes it's like 2 hours, but like, it's
Okay,
usually
word,
not.
word.
Slow burn. I mean, I'm interested in anything that has Half-Life theming like that. I check it out later. Authorblues, what do you got for us? I don't know what this game is at all.
I got Manny's. So yeah,
Sounds like
I
you got fast food.
recorded.
I don't know what
Well,
that means.
Manny's is the name of a fast food restaurant. So
Okay. I mean, it just sounds like you're picking up some sandwiches or something every time you say that. I don't know what this is. There it is.
yeah, so I recorded a video of the first 10 minutes of the game because it's not a super long game, and on top of that, it's got like a lot of twists and kind of interesting elements to it. So I just kind of took a little snapshot of how the game starts. You play a character who I'd say shipwrecked, washed up on the shore of this deserted island, and you're trying to survive. The game plays on a lot of fairly standard psychological horror tropes. You're kind of abandoned, weird stuff starts to happen to you. It's your classic JRPG because it does have a fishing minigame. But what kind of makes it interesting is that while it does try to be a psychological horror game, it also is pretty subversive in that it almost immediately cuts and just starts going for comedy pretty early on. It's a pretty funny game, pretty good writing, and has several different endings depending on how you play out the game. So the story is that you shipwrecked here and you're trying to survive. So you can find a fishing rod and you can catch some fish if you'd like to. The Steam page advertises that there's 20 different fish that you can catch, and I can confirm that because I caught all 20 fish
Nice.
for
That's
the
a-
achievement.
Fish on.
That's a non-insignificant number of fish. I could name 10 more, but you know, that's.
I mean, if you can name 20, you've already impressed me. So basically there's like different skill levels. Like there's like 10 different skill levels of fishing, and for each level there's 2 fish you can catch, one rare one and one common one. So it's not all that difficult to catch the 20 different fish, but the rarity starts to get a little bit obnoxious by the end of it. But I wanted that achievement so bad, you don't understand. So the story goes that you're trying to survive on this this deserted island. So you have a fairly simple objective to begin with: find food and drink. So you're catching coconuts and getting fish. And in the very first night, a fast food restaurant appears on the island, and you don't know whether or not it's a hallucination or what. But you find a fast food restaurant and you do order food there. And what follows from there is a story of trying to figure out what's going on with this fast food restaurant, trying to figure out how to actually order food from it. And then it proceeds with you going to go meet the manager of this fast food restaurant. It's very strange in its sort of presentation, but overall, the writing carries you through a lot of it, and it's a lot of fun. So,
Love this golden eye man.
this is so like full disclosure, this is a solo dev project from a friend of mine actually. He's a former / current speedrunner, Bonesaw, who, if you remember the really infamous Jack and Daxter run at SGDQ, he's that guy. And he's started making his own games, and this one was his very first one. Honestly, quite impressive, and looking forward to what else he produces past this one. But it's a really impressive first shot at making a game. The free Bonesaw, yes.
So how does the general loop work? Because it's like it's like a story progression, right? Where you like go to the restaurant a couple nights in a row, right?
Just 2 nights in a row, so there's not like a loop, so to speak. There's a pretty direct story progression. The first night you come here, he says, you know, you can order anything you want, and you've already paid. And what does that actually mean? You order your food, and you wake up the next morning, and the restaurant is gone. And then you do like one little thing after that. I think make a SOS sign, and you fall asleep after that, and you wake up in the middle of the night and the restaurant is back. And I cut out some portions in the interest both of making a 10-minute video and skipping over some of what's actually happening in the plot, because I think this game is definitely worth playing and I didn't want to spoil what it has going for it. But you discover why it is that you've already paid, and the psychological horror elements progress from there. So it has a few steps in the process. So the basic story, I'll kind of talk about it as it goes into it, but you find out that you've already paid because someone you were with died, and in order to pay to eat at this restaurant, you have to kill someone, or have to have killed someone, which is why you've already paid the first night you come here. But the second night you come back, you're obviously still quite hungry because you're on an abandoned island, deserted island, and he says, well, you can't pay, and there's another customer in the restaurant that night. So that's kind of where it picks up from.
Mm-hmm. Again, just like a Wendy's.
Just like a Wendy's.
Mm-hmm.
Look, when you have a craving for the nuggets, you do what you got to do.
One time you drive through Ohio and you go into the cursed Waffle House where everybody wants to kill you. It's just like that.
Was that a ball pit?
It was a ball pit. I mean, every Manny's has a play place, so. There's a lot of so kind of the story progresses. You end up getting chased by a guy who wants to kill you because he's also hungry and you're also hungry. And once that episode kind of resolves itself, you find out that basically this is built on top of the bowels of hell. So you enter in there to figure out what's going on. And while it feels like this game, despite its sort of silly atmosphere, would try to take itself more seriously, it really leans a lot more, I think, on the comedy aspect of it. And the writing's good enough to carry it. I think sometimes what happens is like a lot of games will try to parody a genre and it falls flat because there's really no love for the genre itself. But this is like an earnest parody from someone who's a fan of the genre, who understands the tropes and understands how to play with them properly, and it ends up working as a result.
Nuggets.
I specifically ordered the nuggets this time because in my casual playthrough, I ordered the burger, and I wanted to see if anything different would happen. And the answer is yes. I got nuggets instead of a burger.
Yeah. Yeah. They you know what? What you expected. Yeah.
Yeah, so specifically the page says, shocked and confused at the sight of the restaurant, he wanders into the nightmare that is Manny's, a restaurant with employees who act as if nothing's out of the ordinary, one bloodthirsty patron, a mysterious manager who calls out from the bowels of the restaurant itself. Will this castaway get his last meal, or will he become the meal? So there's actually several different endings depending on how you play it out, and it's got some interesting stuff that it does. It's not just sort of walk around and complete these simple missions and a story, but like you know, there's the psychological horror portion where you're sort of crawling through these dark tunnels, collecting items and trying to solve little puzzles. And depending on what you collect and what you do, what you've said to people at certain times and what you do, you end up going down different paths toward a few different endings. So.
Nice. The fuck you donation makes sense.
Oh. He has no hesitation at all. He wants his burger.
He knows what he's here for. He was much more excited to eat than I was. It's probably because I had the nuggets, though.
Wow, that man's cooking.
Yeah. And it goes from there. It's one of those games that I was really not sure how I wanted to present this, because if I start filming random points in the game, then it kind of gives away a lot of the little fun things that this game actually does. But it does a lot of stuff. It's surprising how many different directions it takes it, and isn't just hitting one note over and over. There's no just like you're on an island, then you're on a restaurant loop. There's a lot of different locations, a lot of story happens. You fight God, you shoot down the devil from a biplane.
Game, of course.
There is a fishing mini game.
Yeah, so it's a JRPG. Yeah, fishing mini game, fight God. Yeah,
Yeah.
RPG.
That sounds
Text
right.
Quest is RPG. So is this RPG.
Well, we got one game left.
But we've got two people.
You hear about this?
And TieTuesday, the only two people in the world who's played Super Mario RPG.
That's right. If anyone else tells you they've played it, they're lying to you.
We got
That's right.
Super-
TieTuesdays is feature. Super Marpiga. Hey, you hear about this? They made a little guy. They made a new Italian. Look at him go. Can you turn Mario to the camera, please? Thank you.
He's
I do
here.
like looking at him quite a lot. Yeah, this is maybe a primo Mario right here for like looks.
Let's get the classic Vista Hill pissed off Mario jump.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't actually come up here yet. They have dialogue here now, apparently. That's new to me. I didn't check.
Yeah, so this is a remake of Super Mario RPG, the classic SNES game that was released in 1996 in America, something like that. It is a full remake. It, as far as I can tell, has everything from the original. It's got some new stuff added on top, but oh man, what a good remake, huh? What do you think, Smite? What do you want to say about it first and foremost?
I think just about every single thing that I've seen is improved except for one thing. This piece of shit mini game down here is still as bad as it ever was. I can't believe, maybe worse.
So what's funny is when you actually run the race, the timing is correct. In the tutorial, the timing is still all messed up.
I was on
which is hilarious to me.
I was on the tutorial for like 10 minutes and I'm like, what the hell does he want? And then I did it like second try when I went to actually try.
Yeah, I did the tutorial once, like totally beefed it and was like, I wonder if it's still broken in the tutorial but works regular like in the original. And the answer is yeah, which is maybe not something they should have kept, but you know what? They did.
So brave.
Let's see how far away Marlo's dance is, because that was a request.
That was my request, yeah.
Yeah, just
I gotta see this little guy's dance.
It's in the equip screen. You can just LNR through people to see.
Oh, 287. We're in there. That ain't nothing.
Yeah, we can just do whole battles.
Oh, we also have this new move. The Star Riders is just one of the many triple text I think I want. So there's a couple things here. That's new. There's like a limit break gauge. That's what I would call that. Let's defend, and so anyone else can switch out at any time. If there's a status effect on them, if they're dead, if you just feel like you don't want them anymore, like you can sub Peach in and heal, and then
That is so big too.
be done.
Yep. So like a really common situation that would come up in Mario RPG originally is like you'd have a party of 3, the enemy does Pedal Blast or one of the moves that turns everybody into a mushroom, and then everybody's just stuck as a mushroom and you're just sitting there waiting for turns to pass until someone gets tired of it and stops being a mushroom. In this one, yeah, as soon as you get a non-Mario turn, you can just tag in Peach, do group heal, and then everybody's good again. It's really, really strong. There's a fight that is not originally in the game, that kind of takes advantage and plays with this fact a little bit in a very specific way. It's cool. The stuff they added on is also really cool. I won't go into any specifics or detail because the game came out like 2 days ago. Just there is some more stuff. It's maybe like an hour or 2 of extra stuff. It's not a ton, but it's really good and it's really fun. I really like what they added.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay super vague on that because yeah, I know.
Working on it. So yeah, you can't switch out Mario, but everyone else can just leave to get in trouble.
So since the party's, I guess, in a sense, always present, does that mean moves like Peach's group hug heal everyone, or only the 3 members who are out?
Still active party. There is one specific move you can do that will heal everybody. One of the group techs, I think it's like Mario, Mallow, and Peach, is a full heal and revive for the entire party. So like if you have those 3 out front and like wounded and the other 2 fainted in the back, it will just pick up everybody, which is really nice. Really nice.
I might be the only one I haven't seen. But yeah, you can just trade out people and use the specific limit break that they give you whenever you want.
Yeah.
They also hotkey skills like this.
Yeah, the quick menus and stuff are really nice. For speaking of menus, so the original game, it's all on that like cardinal direction button thing where like to pull out an item you would hit X and then X again to pick the item and then X again to pick like what character it goes on. And then specials you press Y the whole time. The default now is just you press those buttons once to pull up the menu and then A and B to like progress or go back in menus in like a much more modern fashion. In the settings menu though, you can go revert it to the old way of doing it if you're an old fart like me. Yeah,
I changed it.
Yeah, they had my back. Also, this game has auto run, and auto run is just the default. You need to hold the trigger to walk, which is good because why would you walk? What's wrong with you? Are you sick?
This isn't random anymore.
Mario wants to.
You can always win the egg game. that's big to me. Let me see how we're doing.
What if you want Mario to just take a break though, instead of just running around, just walk instead? You know.
That's what the L button's for, but he doesn't need to be taking a break all the time.
I think all 5 of them are on the screen, but I am pretty close to Peach leveling up, so we're gonna grab that real quick. That's what I'm working on right now. But there is an extremely nice teleport system in this game. Like I'm talking like Dark Souls 2 is the only one I can think of that's as good as this. You can teleport to like the top of Booster's Tower if you want.
You can also teleport from inside of part of a level. It's not like you have to walk out to the map and then can quickly go. No, you can be just like in the middle of a place and just press start and be somewhere else entirely, immediately, no questions asked. It's so nice.
Where they normally would have a
splash damage is so nice.
I was just gonna say, if you get perfect timing now, so they loosened up the perfect windows, it feels like, but they made the perfect windows way more important and way more valuable. In that, if you hit a perfect on offense, you get splash damage that hits everybody, which is really, really good. And then on defense, you just take 0 damage entirely, and there is a new bespoke animation for it, where like a little blue shield thing pops up in front of you. Other big change on defense is in the original game, all magic was unblockable. It was just if your opponent cast a spell, you got hit by it for full damage, no questions asked, that's life. In this one, single target spells are blockable unless it specifically says at the top right of the screen in big red text, not blockable. Like otherwise you could just block single target spells. Like that blast actually does have a block timing. It's just like weird and hidden in the explosion and hard to see.
They do have an exclamation to help you land it, but also another feature is they you would have seen it just there. I died on purpose. It automatically targets the person who's dead, or if there's only one enemy left, it automatically targets them. So you don't ever have to bother with that. That's an option you can set too.
Yep.
So you don't have to just click a button a bunch like there. It knows who I want. There's only one guy. So it's got all these modern things. I think that might be it. H, you level up yet? One more. I think that the animations, I don't know if the super jump timing is different. It feels like it might be, but I think it's easier anyway.
I think it's like a 3 or 4 frame window instead of a 2 frame window, and it is notably slower between jumps than it used to be. Like as far as like the gap between jumps is much quicker in Super Nintendo. I am not sure about the frame timings in specific though. It feels looser for sure.
Nice. We like this big heal. That's 4 times more health than I have.
Other mechanics, you can see the 2 chain that Smite got. That's new to the remake. So what the chains are is just anytime you succeed in action command, it ticks up by 1. Depending on what your party composition is, you get bonuses depending on your chain level. Mario is always just, you get faster super meter for however high your chain is. So that's just the default. That a chain will always do that because Mario's like always in the party basically.
Right.
Peach, I want to say, is like magic defense. Mallow is magic attack. Geno is speed and attack, and Bowser's physical defense, I think. And for some late game stuff, it can get really interesting how you want to like juggle your party composition for those stat bonuses in particular. And here it is, everybody.
Look, this is what we live for.
The Bowser Mallow shuffle.
The Peach curtsy is also very good. All the designs in this are beautiful. The aesthetic is incredible. I think that is like, we've been mostly talking about mechanics, for me at least, because I don't need to talk about the visuals and the audio. You can just like look and listen and see. It's like really good. Like they really nailed it.
There's this. If you like the SNES music, and I might actually like the SNES music better, but I was listening to the new stuff this time around. And they have an easy mode too. I don't know exactly what that does.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think it's making it sound like the item box is smaller. I haven't even looked in there. Hopefully I didn't just delete items. But anyway, here's what.
No, you're on the normal. So what it is they changed. This is another thing they changed. The inventory in original Super Mario RPG is literally just a number of item slots total, right? Like That's just all it is. And like if you have 20 mushrooms, that's it. You're full. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
In this one, it's items have specific caps on how many of them you can carry. Like for example, you can carry 6 pick-me-ups at any time, but it's just 1 slot. It's not like something where it takes up a bunch of slots. So like you can cap on individual items, but there's not like an overall inventory. Like you can only have 40 things, period, full stop, like it was in the original, which did become a pain in the ass later on, especially if you were hanging on to a bunch of like flower tabs and flower jars and stuff.
Look at this insult in this description.
Wow.
That's so good.
All right, anyway, there's a bestiary, and I was going to teleport because I had jumped 99 times, and I wasn't sure if I messed it up, and I went to Monstro Town and found out that indeed I did mess up on the 99th jump. So, actually, last night, super pissed off, I came in here. This is, if you want 99 jumps plus 1, go to the Mushroom Way, find the spiny. They don't react when you jump on them. So you can just do this. And not only that, if you mess it up, you can go grab the full heal mushroom to the left and try again. So I just went there for 30 minutes while I was making some pizza rolls. Got my 100 freaking jumps, man. But yeah, the animation, the shadow, everything about this makes it, even if the window is the same, and it might be, everything about it, aside from that, makes it easier to do. So yeah, he fully resisted my 100 jumps, but I hopefully got it. So let's go see. I haven't done
also
that yet.
Platforming. Speaking of things that feel better because the animations and the movement and everything, it is still cardinal directions plus 4, so you have like 8 direction movement. Holy shit, the platforming feels so much better. Oh my god.
That's true. You've proven your point. Nice. Okay. And the stats are more visible than they were before. Finally, putting my work pants away for this, which is a very nice.
The best equipment in the entire video game. Yes, congratulations. You've won Mario RPG.
Thank you. I'm ready.
The sacrifice you make for not wearing your work pants.
What
also,
else?
I love the change to Cuelix's door. For the record, the fact that they were like, there were too many people who played the Super Nintendo version of this game and didn't realize that the sealed door was sealed in like a magic way they should figure out. So we made Cuelix's door very obviously a wizard door.
A wizard lives there. You have to.
Yeah. Oh, you already have that, huh?
I haven't gone in here yet. Let's check it out. Let's go get roasted. He's the same.
So what is your least favorite name change in this version?
Clay Morton.
Throfer. I love Clay Morton.
I actually really like Clay Morton. Clay Morton is like one of the few. I think changing the names in some ways kind of sucks because there's history behind them. But Clay Morton's the one where I'm like, this is a good name. They came up with a good one.
At the very least, they really should have and did change the name of the Shy Guys on the Pogos. So
yeah, and that was a really good change. Neo Squid was a really good change because that was clearly a case of like Woolsey fucked up. Like,
isn't that like Earthlock or something?
What?
Wasn't it Earthlock before or something like that?
Oh, no. Neo Squid is the one that in Japanese it just translated to mouth because it's the sword's mouth. And for some reason, so you've got Exor, which is the name of the sword, and then left eye, right eye, and instead of mouth, it's labeled Neo Squid. Ta-da! Okay. That's why, like, when there's changes to this game's like localization and translation, I'm like, yeah, there were some mistakes, man. there were some things that didn't need to be changed.
I couldn't remember. I remembered someone saying that Earthlink got its name changed, so I didn't know if that's what you were referring to.
Earthlink is good. It got changed to Bad Adder, which kicks ass for a big snake.
The thing is that Domino's snake was named Mad Adder before because it did get its name already changed from Mercury Link, which is what it was in the Japanese.
Gotcha.
So they just re-Woolsied Earthlink as well to make it be Bad Adder to go along with Mad Adder.
Well, Mac the Knife is a reference that was kind of obscure, honestly, but I was surprised they got rid of that one.
It was an old reference at the time.
I was gonna say, yeah, Mac the Knife is the one where, like, I had some people in chat like, I can't believe they got rid of Mac the Knife. I'm like, this is a game for people who are 7 to 12 years old. They are not gonna know Mac the Knife, brother.
1928.
It's a reference I like. It's a reference I like that could go.
Oh, I missed. I haven't tried Ultra Jump yet. I mean, we could pick him up, or we could just replace him. Whatever.
Freebies are still in the game. They feel pretty consistent too, comparatively.
You just had Peach use a pick-me-up instead of just come back.
Yeah. I'm lazy. I got mana to spend on
number
Ultra
of inputs, my guy. It is the same number.
This guy hates your efficiency in combat.
My mana goes to Super Jump. Listen, us people who can jump 100 times play differently than you guys who can't do it. All flowers are Super
Listen,
Jump. Every single one of them.
You think I've never gotten the Super Suit in Super Mario RPG?
I don't know.
How dare you?
I didn't get it. I'm built differently. Incorrectly.
I think I'm screwed though. I've never actually fought this guy without the lazy shell. I have no idea how to do it.
Oh, okay, yeah. The big thing here is, I mean, I don't really want to get, this isn't really the show for this, even if this is talking about the mechanics from the original from like 20 years ago, but each of the crystals has like a bespoke weakness you can exploit pretty aggressively to pop them and get them out of the way pretty fast.
Yeah,
instead of being a 5v3, quickly becomes a 3v1.
I assumed he was just a Final Fantasy boss of some sort.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, he is, basically.
Oof. You don't perfect block those walls, you're in trouble.
I guess really, speaking of localization changes, Cuelix's dialogue is finally back to what he was saying in Japanese, which made a lot more sense and was a lot better. It's actually a
mixture of both.
Yeah.
You can perfect block the Dark Star.
it like actually says the things he said. Like, I am going to, like, since they knew it was a transition game, you know, between 3D and 2D, he has a whole thing of like, I'm sick of being flat. give me them shapes. Give me them shapes, Italian.
I've noticed that Terrorize, if it didn't before, it sure works now. Fear works on so many guys. This guy, of course,
It always
is immune,
did. There was no way to tell because there was no indicator that it had worked on an enemy.
Nice.
You just had to kind of like feel out the numbers and assume it did.
But... Okay, Mario, it's all you, buddy.
Because yeah, before there was no indicator, and now it like actually shows purple smoke on dudes when the fear is working.
Here you go,
I think
Peach.
Mario can do it.
It seems like he's doing pretty well, actually. He's just taking no damage because of that suit.
Yeah. I think Super Suit
he
has full invincibility to elemental magic. Diamond Saw's non-elemental. Isn't that crazy?
Dark Star scared me, but I haven't actually let myself die, so I was wondering what autosave would put me just back here.
It's really good. It's like every major area transition, yeah.
Oh, sweet. So that's Mario RPG. There's also somewhere, probably in here, you can watch cutscenes
Oh, nice.
somehow.
Yeah.
Are you only
I
allowed
think
to
you get-
look at the picture of them?
I think you might get more there. I know there's at least one other thing as far as like viewers and stuff you get when you beat the game. But I don't want to say
Oh,
too
that's
much
my least
more.
favorite
That's-
name change, by the way. Spirit of Itch.
Yeah, I brought it
Yeah.
up because of Spirit of Itch. That's my least favorite as well. They could have just
I-
added the eye to make it work, but they
If
didn't.
it was Spirit of Itch, I think I would
Yeah.
be more okay
yeah,
with
that,
it.
I'd be fine
Yeah.
with that as well.
Yeah, it's like I don't really care that they got rid of because again, like we don't need to be doing Japanese puns. It's fine. We can do English puns
Yeah.
instead. The game's in English. That's fine.
Spirit of
But
Itch duplicate.
If you want to be
flow
extremely
of
technical,
Spirit of
Yari
Itch.
is also an English loanword because it describes a specific Japanese spear.
That's great.
This model of Johnny makes it extremely clear that it is just a shark in a shark suit. And I like all the 3D upgrades that give this kind of... sometimes, like, I think Mac... what is his
Yeah.
name? I couldn't tell what he
Clay
was
Martin.
just from the game sprite, but he is clearly a dude on the sword
Yeah,
in this.
he's on a
final-
sword pogo.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of this stuff, a lot of the remakes as far as the models and the artwork and stuff are referencing like the old art books and the like concept art and stuff that has been, that has come out over the course of this game. I love the treasure box mimic renames. They're so
what?
good. They're all like things like, huh, what? Or, oh no, or come on. I think that's my favorite one is come on.
What were they before?
They were like Pandarite, Box
Oh.
Boy, like
Okay.
Box Boy.
yeah, just nonsense.
Whoa.
And now they're like thematically connected. Yeah, they're all like, just like people reacting to putting their hand in a box.
Worried about what's in the box? You should be. It's a what-oh. What?
They're always watching you. Weak to the element of jump.
Yo, subscript text. Yeah, this game's got a lot of style. It has new style. It's got some new cutscenes that... if they change a single word of dialogue, I definitely am like... I definitely noticed for some reason I know it that well, so I definitely have seen all this new conversation and I'm into all of it. There's like that, we just started with the one on the Vista. That's new, because normally Mario just runs up there and hops and gets angry and leaves. And that's all that's up there. Ever.
Yeah, I really like that stuff. Other changes that I think are pretty positive, because like everyone knows like Super Mario RPG Original is like a pretty darn good game. Big changes they made overall that like might feel a little weird if you have a lot of time playing the Legacy version. Even though the weapons are the same, a lot of the timing windows have been scooted forward. So like there's less startup time on attacks. Like when Mario goes to kick a Troopa shell, before it would take him, like a full second to pull it out and kick it, and now he just pulls it out and kicks it in half a second. So like the timing window is the same tightness, it just happens much earlier. So like combat feels a little bit snappier overall, which is really nice.
Yeah, and here's-
Stradivarius, it's either it doesn't list it if you haven't hit it, or if you haven't used the mind read, which they call Thought Peak now is the name of it.
Yeah.
It's Sicko
That's-
has
that's
20
a good-
Yoshi cookies. Anyway,
That's a really good name change because
Yeah, the original wasn't great.
psychopath.
It didn't even make sense. Like, it was just a weird thing to say.
It's an extremely strained way to say telepath, basically, but with psycho
Yeah.
instead of tele.
Yeah.
the item, I think this is a good way to balance RPGs. I mean, every freaking Squaresoft game had this problem where you would have like 99 ethers, and just limiting me to 3 elixirs is an awesome way to fix that. And then now I actually want to use them because I've got like 10 sitting in a box. Carrying around 20 all game long is normally how I play Mario RPG. I sit on the red essence all game. I just have them. I probably just shouldn't even loot them, I guess, looking back, but like, and then go get them right before the final boss, because that's where I use them every single time. I just carry these, so I have like 20 slots of inventory. 5 are red essence, just wasted forever, just never allowed to have anything else, and 2 or 3 are rock candy. And I usually hang on to the lucky jewel, so that's like half my inventory is gone. And that's just
Especially because you've played through this game a couple times and you know what you're doing. Like, you don't really need all these items to beat the final boss of this game. Like, it's pretty doable if you know what you're doing. Like, you know, they made it so a kid can do it, so you can as an adult. So just use your nuggets. Yeah.
yeah, it's not a super hard game, and then they added limit breaks and the ability to switch out party members in battle. So that's really nice. I don't know what the end game is like. I was wondering if you unlock like a super hard mode or anything like that, or if it's just normal.
I will not go into specifics. There's not like a full, at least that I've seen, not a full difficulty, but there are a good number of combat encounters that are the new hardest content in the game at least 4 or 5 times. Yeah.
My concern with this game is that hard content would mean perfect blocks or game over. But I don't think that's what
Maybe
they've done.
one of them is a little bit like that. Who can say? Maybe one of them is if you don't do a timing window correctly, they immediately get a free reaction that instant kills that party member. Who can say?
Yeah.
It's doable though. It's doable. I'll just say it's totally doable. It feels fair. It feels fair.
Yeah, the windows on block are fine. Even Kulik's there. I don't actually know those spells very well because it's kind of new to be able to block Dark Star. I don't think you could block that before.
No.
But I still landed that.
Yeah, any single target spell, unless it explicitly calls out, cannot be blocked. You can just perfect block it. It's so weird. It's neat. For what it's worth, too, they made some of the spells, I feel like at least, pretty hard to block. Like, there's a couple of them where it's just like the opponent has an electricity ball over there and you got hit by it. Like, oh, shit. It's like, yeah, you're supposed to block that.
I think the number one thing I wanted to see.
Like,
What's that?
the Diamond Sword looks like it should be easy to block, but in practice, the timing's pretty tight.
It's because it stays off the screen for just a little too long. Yeah, like it swooshes off. It's like,
I forgot to get this one.
I got
Amateur stuff. There's another one
missed
aside
it.
from this one, and I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's the other one too.
There you are. The garbage
Yeah,
one.
it's
That's
It's a
fine.
heal, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have gotten all these sicko chests, but they gave you the signet ring right at the start. That's another huge change.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a toad in the first area who explains the concept of hidden chests. And instead of just telling you about hidden chests and being like, all right, well, good luck, enjoy jumping everywhere, asshole. Instead, she's like, here's the idea of a hidden chest. P.S. Here's the item that tells you if one's in the room, which is like, wow, that's a really smart change. That's really good.
There's also these special enemies that drop frog coins, and they just, I guess they're just tankier, because that seems like what they are.
They also hit like a truck sometimes, bro. I have had some show up where I was like, well, this won't be a problem at all. And then it just instantly kills Mario. And I'm like, oh, the plans have changed. But yeah, they give you a frog coin. And they give you like double experience. So they're definitely worth doing. So you don't have to just like farm Midas River or whatever over and over if you want to buy all the frog coin items.
I was wondering about Great Guys Casino. I guess I'll leave that unspoiled. I'm gonna see that magnificence in HD for myself here, but I'm not there yet.
One change they made that is so funny because it is absolutely for legal reasons. And oh man, I can't wait for you to get there so I can tell. It's good.
It's I think I'm too early to even talk to Knife Guy in here, so I'm just working on Land's End. Oh, there he is. Hey, yeah, I'll take it from here. When I'm gonna play this tonight, so I'll just get this guy's key for the casino. Very excited. That's coming up in like an hour.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess one small side thing, since you're in this area anyway, the environments are really pretty in this game. I think they leverage the fact that they mostly only have to draw one angle, and they made some just really gorgeous looking textures, really weirdly good looking reflections, a lot of very
Curtains?
flat, simple textures. Yeah, the curtains have physics. But it's just real easy to miss that. I think this is like a particularly beautiful Switch game. Like, this looks really, really good for the Switch, and it didn't really run poorly anywhere that I've noticed.
Yeah, no, they got it. Very solid.
Artifiats seem to be actually quite good at their job when they have full support to do so.
Yeah.
I like almost every change. I can't think of anything that I don't like, except for Yoster's Isle still sucks. I don't like that in any game. Goomba
That's not
stomping
a
is
change,
easier.
that's just how it is.
Yeah, they
you
left
know?
it alone, and it feels even worse somehow to me. I don't know. It's probably because Toad's demo made me feel even worse at it than ever before.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Because the demo is so far off, it's outrageous. Like, it's not even close. And then you do the actual thing, and you're like, oh, that's actually what. The one change they did make to make that easier is there's now a button indicator showing you when you're supposed to press.
Yeah.
However, it is also wrong during the tutorial.
Yeah, that was what was throwing me. The Goomba thumping is good. The Boosters game was way easier than it's ever been, even though they added new stuff to it. They made the minigames a little bit more interesting. I didn't really understand the mole ride, but I just need to try it again because I'm so ingrained in the old method.
Do you mean the cart?
Yeah, I couldn't get
It
the
is
turns.
borderline identical, except for the very final screen. It's real close.
The turns weren't working for me as well. Like,
you
I
might
was
need to
hitting them too
slow
fast.
down a little bit earlier. Yeah. The only, I'm trying to think what other. There's like one other mini game change I was thinking of that they did a really good job on, but platforming just in general feels so much better. The Lands End Troopas, it took me like 3 tries to hit the
Yeah.
the goal, which is incredible compared to how long it used to take, because like it just feels much more fluid. This game feels much smoother to control. Like, I love Super Mario RPG. The platforming wasn't great in it, right? Like, it was an RPG first that happened to have platforming second, and this feels a lot more like the RPG was already set in good form, so they could spend a little more time getting that platforming to actually feel like, not like it's not like gonna like blow Super Mario Wonder out of the water or anything, but like it feels like good Mario platforming.
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now, so I'll be doing that. Like, next, that's the next thing I'm doing. Hey, thanks for joining me for Talkin Pit, everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do have, I saw fan art by Rum Rusher of you, TieTuesday.
What?
I'll drop it on screen here. There you are.
Hey, God, I love WikiHow animals. They're so good.
Hey, thanks for joining me. I'm actually going to jump right into Persona's new game, the Tactics game. I have a little sponsorship, so I'll be doing that right now. Just stick around,
Nice.
folks.
Nice.
What are y'all into
Later.
today or this week?
Go for it.
Yeah, I might play some more Under Night 2 tonight and tomorrow. And then I'll be streaming the rest of the week over at twitch.tv/TieTuesday like I always do. But that's it.
I'm going to be doing my normal stuff as well. I guess I decided that the marathon I do for November is going to be on the 28th. It's not going to be like a super high effort marathon or anything, but I am going to be doing one then. Partially because they're going to be doing a Dragon's Dogma presentation during that one. And I was encouraged to restream it. So,
Oh,
you know,
nice.
that's how it works.
I'm playing Mario's Time Machine tonight for no reason. I do not. I just wanted to play it, and then I'll be doing my normal stuff till Tuesday, and then I'm gonna take a weekish break off to go see my folks.
Cool. Thanks for joining me.
Mario's Time Machine. Time to learn about history.
Yeah, Carmen
I'm
Sandiego
gonna play
Mario.
the PC version. It's got all the voices. You want this money?
Ah,
Oh, I didn't know
Will
the
you
PC
learn?
version had voices. Oh,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
certainly
Mario
does. You
walks
will
up to
learn.
Shakespeare. Hey, Shakespeare, you want this money?
I see you later.
Oh, right. That's
Later.